Boom.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Okay, so I texted her. Hopefully she'll respond. I'm sure she will.
There's probably guys watching this podcast going, "Yeah, get that girl on. Get that." Honestly,
Here's the thing, though. When it comes to Emily, I'm super protective.
I know you are.
I've known
I know you
her
are.
for a long time, and I'm just like, no, 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 you don't get to look at her like that.
That's my next point because it is honestly to see dudes, a lot of dudes, not all guys, but just some at
Yeah.
the bar. You can see who it is and who it's not
Yeah.
interacting with a 19-year-old girl, and I don't know when it flipped for me.
Right.
You know, I don't know when it flipped for me. I'm almost 46.
Right.
I don't know when women under a certain age became, I don't want to say unattractive,
Right.
but unrealistic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just
It's
not
a thing.
a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know when that flipped, but at some point it did. And the very idea of fucking,
Right.
it's just like, there's a certain level of maturity that you just got to have before, you know what I mean?
I do.
The way some guys interact towards a 19-year-old is fucking pretty creepy. It's pretty creepy. It's creepy.
It is creepy.
It's creepy.
And I've seen it. And I've said stuff. I'd be like, excuse me. Can I help you? Can I help you? Because I'm not digging this.
Women at the bar, not our bar, but in general, I've worked at enough places,
Right.
I've heard enough stories. Have to deal with a fucking lot. That work at a bar
it's-
have to deal with a lot. It's fucking quite a bit.
It's the worst sometimes.
There's always dudes trying to pick them up.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There's always. I don't even want to get into like the really creepy shit of just fucking weird pervs coming into a place doing upskirt photos or some fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah. No.
You know?
Or sitting at the bar trying to search you on Facebook.
Oh my god. I don't even really realize that's a thing until just as you said it just now. I'm
yeah.
like, of course,
Yeah.
motherfuckers do that.
So they'll search the place. If you put on your Facebook that you work at a certain place, they'll go to that Facebook page and try to find out like your name or.
Really?
Yeah, it's awful. It's horrible. It's disgusting.
Honestly,
Gross.
I've never caught anybody doing it. I don't know what I would do if I did catch somebody doing it.
I did one time.
What are you gonna do? What can you say?
You say something.
What do you do?
But I said something. I said something. I was the waitress, and it was, my bartender. And I walked past, and she kept telling me, she's like, "Man, there's something off about this dude at the end of the bar." I'm like, "Okay, I'll keep an eye out. I don't give a shit. I'll keep an eye out." And so I was bringing out food, and I was walking past, and he had one of those big, like, bigger phones, like the screen was big.
Yeah.
And I saw him flipping through where I worked's Facebook. And I was like, all right. So I just took a little mental note, delivered food, did the things, came back around. Sure as shit, he was looking through who works there. And I go, "Oh, did you find anything interesting? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" I go, "How many times did that bartender say no about not giving you her number or all of this, her name or when she works?" I said, "So now you're going to do this?" And I was kind of loud about it. I was like, "So you're going to do this instead?" And he's just like, "Shh, shh, shh, shh." I go, "How about this? How about you just pay your tab and head out the door?" Because
It's a good move. It's a great move. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
you gotta call it out because
glad-
it gets uncomfortable, and then
I'm always of the opinion. Sometimes are really for me that I've seen are really blatant moments to call somebody out.
right.
There's other moments where I'm like, I don't know if that was a fucking a line where I would have called somebody out or fucking,
Yeah.
I just don't know if me personally, if
Right.
I would have in that situation, but I can totally see it.
And it was getting close to closing time, and he wasn't closing out his tab, and I'm like, he's not. You're not staying here. You need to go. You need to go now.
Closing
Yes,
time.
you don't have to go home, but you sure as fuck are not going to stay here.
Honestly, I can't even believe. But let's get back on that topic here in a second. But I can't believe I worked with December one night and we closed together, and I can't believe you fucking did the closing time song
Oh,
to
you've
people.
never?
No,
Oh,
I was just like, oh, I can't believe you did the closing time song to people. It's time to get the fuck out.
bro. Oh no, all the time. The place I used to work at downstate. I used to work at a Mexican restaurant, and I'll tell you what, man, if people weren't out and done a half hour after the doors were closed, like if they were just milking it to sit there,
Yeah,
nope, you gotta go. You gotta go.
that's the thing that people need to fucking realize. Like when they go to the bar, I understand if you get there towards closing,
Right.
There's a line between being a dick and get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here, and then finish your beer. I don't want to rush you.
Right.
There's a line between those things.
Mm-hmm.
But there are at least a number of people that are just like, what? You mean
Yeah.
I gotta leave because
Right.
you're trying to fucking close this place so you can go home from your job?
Right. Right.
I don't
And
know.
I think being in hospitality and all of that, I don't go to somebody's desk job and make them sit there till they're out at 5 till
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't
Yeah.
do that. Why?
It's so funny the little things that people can get away with when they're commenting or interacting with your job that they can't do at other jobs. Like I was
Right.
talking about this with I think Cartman one day. We were talking about radio
Right.
and the amount of people that talk shit about, why don't you play this song? You played too much of this band.
Right.
Blah, just any fucking bitch you can possibly imagine.
Right.
And we're just like, God, I could just imagine if I just showed up at like your job and
Why
told
did you
you
use
how to
that
do your,
stapler? Why
told
didn't
you
use
how
that
to
one?
do your fucking job. It's similar.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's very similar.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even, it is. It's very similar and it's very annoying. And you're like, look, here. I've done it before where somebody, was trying to be like, well, you should wait on this person and then this person. And I'm like, I got it. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 30 some years, a long freaking time. I know what I'm doing. And then finally she just kept yapping and yapping, and I handed her my notepad. I was like, here you go. You want to do this? And she's looked at me and she goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It happens. You kind of get carried away, but by all means, here, I'll go home. Drinks are up at the bar. Good luck.
Take the rest of my tips for the fucking day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't be, I've done it before. And like I said, I wasn't a bitch about it. I was just like, okay, here. Yeah.
Oh no, see, because me, if I'm gonna be an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole. So I'm going to be an asshole.
You're going to be very aggressive about it.
You got to at least let people know you're trying to be an asshole.
Well, I wasn't trying to be, I was trying to make a point and not be an asshole about the point I was making.
You get that?
So, and it worked. It worked. Because her husband.
Shut the fuck up.
And then that's
Yeah.
exactly what her husband
Yeah.
said. He looked at her. He's like, "Are you fine now, Barbara?"
There's so much more, like, I don't want to say power to, like, bar and restaurant workers. And I'm not sanctioning being an asshole to
No.
customers or anything like that. Like,
Although,
but there's a point. There's been a history, especially lately, of just asshole customers.
right,
And
that whole thing of the customer's always right is not. No.
wrong answer.
No, it's not. That's not legit anymore. And there are some, like, I worked at a restaurant in town where if you weren't kind of like sassy, pushbacky, kind of assholey with regulars, they'd be like, "Are you okay?"
Honestly,
What's going on?
that's a very telltale, like a small town mom and pop sort of business is to have wisecracking fucking
And people
bartenders
love
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah.
They do fucking love it.
Yeah,
They do fucking love it.
Right. Just as long as you're not insulting or demeaning about it.
There's a difference between being loud and like wisecracky and talking shit,
Right.
and then being mean and like and loud for no reason
or
or a lot.
offensive and
There's a difference.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
absolutely. There's a huge, and you have to know your audience as well. You know, you have to kind of learn how to read people to be like, oh, yeah, no, you're a little uptight, so I know I can't joke around with you, or oh no, you're funny, you know, you told your kids to stop doing this, and
Yeah, knowing your audience is big.
yeah,
Because I always think about think about like a bartending shift as I would, or I used to think about like a radio show.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, when I was doing radio, I was moonlighting at the bar, and I'm like,
Right.
it's the same kind of thing. There's a
Yeah.
little more physical activity and productivity to it, but you're still
Right.
talking to people and,
Yeah.
and trying to relate to them and trying to make them engage in them and have a good time and
Yeah.
improving somebody's fucking life essentially
Sure,
through shooting the shit.
right. Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing as like a radio show.
Absolutely. And really, too, by developing that type of rapport or whatever, that's how you develop regular customers and, you know, all of those things.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. It's a fun job. If there's honestly, I think about all like the jobs that I could do other than this podcast,
Wow.
because that's my ultimate goal is to run this shit as like a
Right.
fucking company, you know.
Right.
Other than like radio show and things I've done before, and I've done everything from like construction to janitorial work to fucking bakery work to cooking to bartending
Right.
to electrician work to construction, block work, brick work, you fucking name it.
Right. Got it. You've done a lot of shit.
The thing, look, I'm just trying to paint a fucking picture, December.
Got it.
Point of this fucking story is, now that you put me into a fucking corner and I got to fucking... the point of the fucking story is that I would choose bartending and radio as like the two things I like to do the most.
Yeah.
Like they're fun fucking activities, you know?
Right.
Like when there's moments, it's like that's how I met you.
Yeah.
Is you were my bartender,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fresh Coast Fridays.
Fresh Coast Fridays. I would tell people that I tell people still. I'm like before Fresh Coast moved, I wasn't a worker before. I was friends with Chuck. Him and Aaron created U-Brew and then Fresh Coast, and I was friends with Chuck. And then there was a professional relationship. They were sponsors on the radio, but essentially Chuck and I were just friends.
Right.
So that was my other hang, other than Right Brain. But I would that's what I tell people. I'm like, that's where I went to hide. That's where I would go and just shoot the shit with December.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, when you would come in, because it was so early.
December was my therapy session. Honestly, December was my Friday therapy sessions when I was going through the worst shit ever at work. And I was, especially towards the end, where I'm like, I can't fucking deal with this shit anymore. And I would go into Fresh Coast on Friday, and I'd be like, December, you got fucking hours for me at Fresh Coast? But I'm serious. So that the ability to have that relationship
Right.
with people is fucking awesome. I love it because honestly, like one of my main ideas with the Smitty Learns Irish pubcast, and where I'm going to hike Ireland, I'm going to learn the history of Ireland through the pubs, interviews in pubs with pub regulars and pub owners.
Right.
But there's something romantic about pubs to me, and just gathering places where people come to drink and tell stories and like unwind with their day. There's something fucking awesome about that. For as much as like alcohol can be abused, we can talk all days about the negative effects. There's so many fucking positive things that happen at like your local watering holes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a real fucking influence that you have as a bartender to really just improve people's fucking days.
Right.
What the hell? Everything!